Hey, welcome to this is our fourth week of Cooking Club, and I'm doing chicken and vegetable soup today. Where I live in Utah and there's snow on the ground, it's cold and it just feels like soup weather. Um, so chicken vegetable soup is really whatever you want it to be. You get to pick whatever vegetables you want. Today on the recipe that I had shared, we are using, I've got my onions diced. I'm doing green beans in it. I've cut them in like 1-inch little sections. And I've got some cauliflower, just cutting flour. I like to keep the vegetables about the same size so they cook evenly. And then I've cut my yellow squash and I'm doing those in half moons. And like I said, just kind of similar sizes. Put that on the side. And I'm still going to be chopping some. I've got a zucchini, the green one, I'll be doing. And we're also going to put peppers in it and carrots. And on the call today, we have Carol and Marissa and Crystal are here. So they're kind of cooking. Some are cooking along and some are watching. And it's great because we kind of just have a conversation while we cook. Yeah, so if you have any questions, before we started the recording, Carol was kind of asking size and what shape you cut this or that. And so we were kind of talking about that. And I think the important thing is keeping sizes consistent. So this zucchini is a little bit smaller, and I think I'll just keep it, the smaller ones. Well, maybe I'll do the half moons. Those are easier to eat. In a soup, you do want to keep things bite-sized, something that would fit on the spoon. So that's something important to remember. Any other questions or things that you noticed in your
Question about the I'm not really proficient with my Instant Pot, that I put the chicken in before I ran to the store, and I set it for 10 minutes, and now it seems to be counting up and it's gotten to 20.
Yes, that's perfect. So I'm just kind of learning Instant Pot, but an Instant Pot, you set the time for 10 and it will get the right pressure up, and then it starts counting from 10 and it counts down. And that's the 10 minutes that it's cooking by pressure. And then it starts cooking up. Mine has an L, and I trying to give a really good reason why the L, like, what does the L mean? Later, or it's like past the pressure cooking time, and then it starts counting up. And I really like to leave it in there for like 25, 30 minutes because that's a natural release.
Okay.
It keeps the meat juicier.
Mhm.
So I can just leave it in here until we're ready, and then I
Yep.
push the release valve or open it if it'll let me.
Yeah, it will be released. There won't be any built up pressure in there when you open it because you've done a natural release. There's 2 releases on an Instant Pot. There's the natural one, and then there is the quick release.
Okay, perfect. Thanks.
And I think with chicken, it works really well to have the natural release. I think that's the beauty of an Instant Pot that people like, is they can do the quick release. So things take a lot less time. But I usually try to give it enough time, so I can do the natural release. That's a good question. I want to figure out my Instant Pot, so I started using it and relying on it more. And so I'm just sharing what I've learned. Any other questions or about what you're cutting or what's going in here?
I'm cutting the peppers. What are the peppers supposed to be like? Strips, chunks? What?
Really, whatever you want. Again, it will need to fit on a spoon, like when you scoop up your soup.
Okay.
I'm going to do mine. I think I'm going to chop them pretty small, like the onion,
Okay. Okay.
because I feel like that will kind of be a filler. These bigger vegetables will be just okay. I guess the way I picture it is like when I take a spoonful of soup, I might have one bean on there, but I'll probably have a couple of peppers, and
Mhm.
the carrots will be smaller, the onions will be smaller. So and yeah. I think the longest part of making the soup is cutting the vegetables, just taking the time to cut it. And that's what I've learned, is just trying to relax and enjoy that process of chopping. I know some people hate chopping vegetables, but you know, we could make it fun. I sometimes turn on music or a podcast or a movie or something and just know that that's kind of brainless or mindless work that you're doing, and I actually enjoy it. So if I know that's what I'm doing. I've said this before in my Zoom that I have a really hard time trying to throw dinner together if I'm hungry. And so I am really trying to practice fixing the meals between my eating times when I'm just not like starving, or when everybody else in my home is hungry and starving. That is really a rough time to try to come up with dinner. Maybe you guys have figured that out or mastered it, but I haven't. So that's why I do meal prepping at 11 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, a lot of times I'll do it in the afternoon too, like between lunch and dinner. But if I wait till 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock, it's too late for me. And I'm not a very happy or patient person, so. Okay. Tell me that you guys relate to that.
Yeah, I have one child that's that way. We know it's time to stop and eat when he gets hungry.
Uh-huh. Oh, I said I was gonna do, yeah, I'm gonna do this pepper in the small one, so. Oh, the other thing that I like to talk about is the food that I use. You will notice that I try to use one of every color if possible. And I get so energized by the color of food. So that's why I'm using a red pepper, an orange carrot, green beans, yellow squash, white cauliflower, and yellow zucchini. I'm doing two, yellow squash. I think I already said that. But it makes it nice and color. Where'd it go? Marissa, are you using your chopper more?
I'm using it right now. I haven't, I've been out of town for 5 days, so I haven't done anything since last. Yeah, I do like it. I'm kind of struggled to get all the little bits out of the grooves,
Uh-huh.
how to get it clean.
Out of this part?
Yeah, and the other, the part that squishes it through,
Uh-huh.
but
Mine came with a little thing. I don't know where it is. But one thing I've done with this is I just take like a butter knife and I'll clean it out with that
okay.
to get down in there. And that sharp piece is really sharp. And so you do have to be careful not to stick your finger in there.
Right.
But I'll use like the tip of a knife to get it out or whatever. I have seen some choppers that have better cleaning, a little gadget to help it clean.
I just found I have this, it's a little claw.
Yeah, Yep.
It's a little bent.
yeah. Does that work?
A little bit. I'll, I will keep practicing with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what. That would help. So I wanted to ask about how you guys feel about the holidays and your eating food around the holidays. Because sometimes the holidays are triggers for, oh, it just doesn't matter what I eat. I'll worry about eating healthier after the holidays or whatever.
I have issues with that. I've been doing a lot of traveling this last summer and fall already, and I think I've gained way more than I want in the last
Uh-huh.
months. So I'm kind of at my highest weight ever. So I'm like, oh no, holidays, all the stuff I'm gonna be wanting to eat, and I really shouldn't.
Yeah. And then we start resenting that. And then we're like punishing ourselves, like, well, now I can't enjoy going to this family event or whatever, because I felt the same way through the years and tried to figure out, like, how do you handle it? And I actually was working on I'm gonna put it into a Instagram post about what a holiday mindset, like how can we go into the holidays with a healthier mindset? And uh, and a couple of things that I have practiced and that really work for me is when they're in big gatherings, that if I'm focusing on the people and the conversations and the connecting and interacting more than I am about the food or filling my plate or going back for seconds or loading it, it kind of changes my focus on what's most important at those things. Focusing on the people, not the food. You still have to eat. I think another thing that really helps is don't go when you are starving to events. If you're leaving and you have an event, you know they're going to have food there, but you're just really hungry, I would have a little quick snack before you go, because then it takes the edge off of it. And then you're not as likely to like double up on the things that aren't. I don't think it's fair to say you can't have the good things. I don't think that's the goal, is to deprive you of that. But I also think that being selective of what you do choose is really helpful. Like pick the priorities. Like if you want the dessert, I would look like, is it a homemade dessert or was it bought at the store? You don't need the stuff that's at the store. You can get that anytime. But if there's a homemade thing, then I would, and you want it, you should have it. I also think that I call it the 1, 2, 3. If you have 3 bites of it, if you can stop after 3 bites, stop, look and listen. Like stop after 3 bites, look at it and say, question yourself, do I really enjoy this? Is this really a happy food for me? Is it really tasting good? Then you listen to your body. Like your body might say, yeah, you want more of this. But again, I'd stop after 3 bites again. So for me, that stops my brain from thinking, oh, I have to have all of it. Like if I've started this dessert or this goodie thing, then I get the whole thing. But practicing like pausing in between and just checking with yourself, like, do I need this? Do I need more of this? No, I'm fine. I actually ate a lot of dinner and this just feels fine.
I
That-
love these ideas.
kind of helps with the overeating problem too. I'm speaking just from my own experience of, I just have had the holidays where after Christmas and New Year's, I feel so sick and so crappy. And a lot of it was just because there's so many different things around my house, or people drop things off. Like, well, I just want to taste that. Or we've been out so much at different events, and I just kind of lose the control over what I'm eating. That I remember a particular year, I was so unhappy and so miserable. My house was full of people, and I had to go outside for a walk and just like talk myself off the cliff. Like, you've just been eating things that aren't good for you. You don't feel good, and this too will pass, and you have control over it. Tomorrow's a new day. And just knowing what to come back to and get grounded on again is really what I've been trying to work on. Like, what is that grounding? And these recipes that I'm showing you, this is where I come back to when I just like healthy eating, healthy vegetables, making it at home. This is not the base, the ground level. So that's what I'm doing this for, just to give you a place to begin. I'm going to start cooking the soup. I think I need to turn on the light. And okay. I'm gonna bring this over here to start our soup here. What I like to do when I do a soup is take the onions, carrots, those things that need a little bit more time, and I kind of saute them first in the pan with some olive oil. That kind of takes the edge off of it. I don't love soups that have a crunchy carrot in it. So that is, and here's my Instant Pot. It's got my chicken in it. It's ready to go. I'll add that to the soup, but I'm going to heat up my pan. I'm going to add olive oil and then my carrots and onions. Okay, this is my favorite part. I get so excited about the colors. Oh, that is cool. And I have to take pictures of it because I just love the process of it. It's energizing. I think I've learned that like being around live food gives me life. And I think that's why it's just so energizing for me. Yeah, I was just thinking about the holidays again, and like, what other struggles come up, or what questions do you have that could be helpful? Let me check my recipe. My recipe's on my phone. Okay.
As far as struggles, this is not exactly food related, but just struggles with like, I've had my parents passed away 3 years ago, and I've got 2 daughters who are married and kind of doing their own thing, and like how to include them and how to, I don't know, just a lot of emotional stuff too. Maybe that leads to the extra eating too.
It does. It is a challenging time. The holidays are really sensitive. I too struggle with that. My mom passed away this week 7 years ago. And it's been 7 years that I can't be at home for Thanksgiving. It's kind of crazy, but And we never really went to her house on Thanksgiving anyway, but for some reason, it's hard for me to want to do all the work. And we've traveled over Thanksgiving the last 7 years because it's an emotional thing. And that's how I've dealt with it. I'm probably running away from it a little bit, but I have taken the time, I've realized that what I really want for Thanksgiving is just to be with my children, that next generation. And so however that looks, wherever we can be together with our own little family. Sharing our children with their in-laws is a whole nother game. And they're trying to split their time, and that makes that complicated. And I think, I don't know, one of my suggestions is like sitting down and kind of deciding what is your priority. Is there a certain holiday or a certain event during the holidays that you really want all of them to be together? And pick the one that's the highest priority. And then you kind of have to let go of some of the other expectations or traditions that you had to allow space for them to do things differently too. It's hard for the kids too, because they've grown up with you and doing your traditions, but now they're trying to create traditions with their family. Okay, this is going to be loud. It always is. I can't hear very well on the Zoom, but I'm going to throw all the onions in and the carrots. I put some olive oil in there. And I show this every time, but this is one of my favorite tools in the kitchen that's made out of wood. And it just is so good for vegetables. I don't use this on raw meat, but yeah, that doesn't work. But for veggies and like stir fries, it's so good. So yeah, I think it's nice to be able to talk to somebody who's kind of in the same stage of life or who's been there a couple of years ahead and know what it's like and how you adjust. Carol's my sister-in-law. She's my husband's sister, and we had such a Christmas Day tradition where we always got together, and it was always at not always, we did it at grandma's house.
Mostly at your house.
Yeah, for the last 15 years of grandma's life, it was at our house. And love keeping that tradition, but it was changed after grandma passed away 4 years ago. And I sense that all of our siblings need to be with their children now. And it's not so much about being on Christmas Day with everybody. The family's just getting so big and kind of have to make adjustments along the way. And I think it's good to embrace the changes, embrace it and test it out. Try something for a year. Maybe you like it, you stick with it, and maybe you don't, and you don't do it again. It's kind of keeping an open mind about it. Okay, I'm gonna get those carrots just another minute here. I am planning on doing a cookie class with my homemade rolls, my dinner rolls. And I was going to do it the day before Thanksgiving to help people make their rolls and have them ready for Thanksgiving. I am now wondering if I should do it next week so that there is a replay and people have a week to watch a replay or to practice it. So since you're on the live call, I'm going to ask, what is your opinion? Would you prefer to do it a week before Thanksgiving or do it the day before Thanksgiving?
I would say a week before.
I
Okay.
agree. Just to have, and if they want to make it the day before, they have the replay. That's smart.
Yeah. It just kind of dawned on me last couple of days. I was like, oh, but if I do it early, then people can use it more.
Yeah.
If I do it the day before, then it's too late. They've already made their decision. They've already they already have a plan.
Yep.
Okay. My recipe here. Okay. I actually don't really like the way I wrote out my recipe. I'm gonna add all the veggies to this first. And then I'm gonna add the chicken broth
So add the veggies now,
and then the chicken lots. What?
add all the veggies now.
Yeah, so I've done the ones that take the longer first. So now I've got the green,
Next step.
sorry, I can't hear you very well.
I'm ready for the next step. They're really
Yeah.
getting together.
You have all your veggies in there?
No, I'm just asking, do I do that?
Yeah,
Okay.
yep, add the veggies. Oh, mine is colorful. It's got the onions and the orange carrots and the green beans so far. Oh, the zucchini and the peppers don't take that long. With the veggies, I'm just basically trying to keep them through, like they don't all need to be tender right now. Because we're gonna let this simmer for at least 20 minutes. After you put the veggies in, this is a good time to add the seasonings. So I've got onion powder, thyme, basil, and parsley. And I'm gonna go to the measurements. All of them are 1 teaspoon, but the parsley is 1.5. So 1 teaspoon of onion powder. 1 teaspoon of basil. 1 teaspoon of thyme. And really you can add whatever spices or seasonings you prefer. And 1.5 of the parsley. Okay, and then stir those flavors around. I'm sure you're about ready to add the broth. When you get to that point that the veggies are all seasoned and heated, not necessarily tender, but heated, add your broth, and it's 6 cups, so the full one of these plus 2 more cups. This, oh, I forgot my cauliflower. Did you forget something in yours? Did you get them all in there? Cauliflower's white. I didn't see it. I like, oh, it's so pretty. Take a picture. And this is the point in my cooking that I always need to stop and smell it. It's really important to me that I have expressed gratitude for my food, that I don't rush past that part, but stop and smell the roses, stop and smell the food, and all this good, colorful, nutritious food. All right. So I'm adding the broth. And this is going to make a lot of soup, and this will feed your family. Another thing that I love about the cooking, the art of cooking, is that doesn't just bless your family. It now becomes something that you can help others. Somebody who needs a meal, somebody who is just having a hard day. And if you already have something ready, serving others is so much easier. And so I see cooking as an art of service. Oh, that reminds me. I don't have it. I forgot. Maybe I'll have Mary grab it for me. But my mom was such an example of that for me, that she served people through her kitchen. And it was always, I'd watch her take food, drop off a mason jar of soup to somebody. And I learned a lot from that. And maybe, yeah, it's kind of a tender thing for me. But when my mom passed away, I just felt like she was living on and that she was going to continue to serve. And she is just a shining light to me. And so when she passed away, like in my journal and stuff, I would write, "Shine on, Mom." Like, I know you're still there, and I know you're still serving and blessing lives of other people. And I feel her blessing my life a lot. But the point I'm trying to get at is that I have just created, and it's just published, I received my first copy of a personal bullet journal / planner and habit tracker. It's everything that I do in my life to keep it balanced and to live an abundant life and to feel gratitude and joy and to stay connected to seeing God's hand in my life. And I hadn't really dreamed about making my own planner, but I met a lady recently, and she does all the work to help it get published or whatever. And she said, "What do you want in your planner?" And she helped me create the exact planner that I want. And so I have a tangible copy, and I am going to be selling it during Black Friday next week. It starts the Black Friday sale. Next week is my launch week. And you probably got an email about it, but that journal is kind of connecting me back to why I picked the title Shine On, where that came from. that came from the connection with my mom. Um, and I feel like the more that we align our life and create our days and our weeks and our months focused on the right things, that we become a shining light for other people, and that we are able to shine God's light through us. So my books is upstairs. I should maybe have Mary go get it. But anyway, you've probably seen it on social media or through the email. But I did want to explain about that. And yeah, do you have any questions, or how's it going in your kitchen?
I love the idea of your bullet journal. That's really great. I have a planner that has like habit trackers and stuff. I just struggle with actually marking it
Mhm.
when I do that. But I don't know.
Yeah.
Struggle, like you have intentions of shaping your day and choosing the right things to do, and then sometimes it goes out the window.
It's true. And to be okay that there are times like that and days like that, but then just be aware, like, oh, if I'm going months like that, what do I need to correct? Or what could I do differently? Or what could I bring to a smaller scale to make that one be successful? But I see Rachel joined us. Hi, Rachel.
Hello.
Hello.
Uh,
Are you
I
cooking?
saw I'm making pumpkin cookies. I think
Ooh.
I've been trying to decide pumpkin sourdough cookies. I'm gonna try it. I have to take a dessert to a banquet tomorrow, but I saw your email about the planner tracker. Do you have like pictures of, like, I saw one picture on the email. I don't know if you have more pictures on. I'm a nerd about like what my planner looks like. So
Uh-huh.
I'm really curious what it looks like, but I am interested in.
I do. I'm actually going to do a Zoom call next Tuesday night and talk about it and show it, and show how I use a habit tracker and how I keep up with it, and the different features of my book.
Okay. And will you record it in case I can't make it to the
Yeah,
live
I'll
call?
record that.
Okay.
Mary, will you go upstairs and get my Shine On planner? Thank you. Yeah, there are different pages that one of them. Oh, what? My planner, my new planner. It's on my desk. Thank you. One of the so I had habit tracker, and then I had a planner, and then I had a journal, and then I didn't have any of those available. So then I'd grab a pad of paper and I'd write things on that, and I had everything all over the place. And I actually carry around like this bag, and it has like 6 books in it because I had all
Can
these
relate.
things going.
Yes.
So, yeah, just recently I was like, well, what if I put all of them in one spot? What would that look like? And so that's what my friend Krista helped me do and design. And thank you. So I've got my soup, it's just starting to boil. I'm gonna let that simmer. It's gonna simmer like 20 minutes or whatever. I can put the chicken in now. If you have the chicken, you can put that in. I'll just explain this and then I'll do my chicken. So this is my planner, and it has the shining light, the shining rays, like shine on, and that's what it's called, my Shine On planner. And my podcast was called Shine On. That's where all of that started. The first page is a vision board, and it's got the dot grid stuff. So there's a lot of creativity space. You can, like a bullet journal. And then this is the year, the whole year. And then every month there's a full layout of the month. I like having it all in one spot. And then kind of some highlights of what I hope to accomplish that month. So goals or to-do list, whatever places I'm gonna go, people I'm gonna see, like just kind of like predicting what might happen. If it does, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And you can even do a key, like a marking key or code. Like if it did happen, I can mark it like with a check. If it didn't happen, I can put an arrow like it will happen later. Like, I mean, that's a whole nother thing, but at the beginning of every month, this is what's really customized to me, because it's really important to me that I see God's hand every day in my life. And so there's a spot for one thing every day. How did I see God's hand in my life? That keeps my spiritual development going. And then over here is the joy. It's really important for me that I find joy every day. And so I have a place to write down just a short little phrase of where I felt joy. Maybe it was outside in the sunshine, or snuggling with a grandchild on the couch. Like, can I feel joy every day? So there's one for every day of the month. And then this one is, did I serve one person? Did I reach out or send a text or wish them a happy birthday? Or was there somebody that I connected on a personal level? And I just make a little short note about who it was or what I did. And then these are 8 spaces for, I get to choose my habits every month of what I want to track. And you're aware, I mean, we've done that before, the habit tracker. And so in my video or in my Zoom call, I'll go through and kind of give some guidelines of how to decide what those things would be. But I base them around a spiritual goal, a physical fitness goal, mindset or intellectual, or like a reading goal, something that will help me, or if you have a job or you're working, like a growth, yeah, how you want to expand. And then a relationship goal. Is there a relationship you're working on? And so that's just kind of a rough idea of what I'd be doing with that. And then there's the week layout. And in my week, I have every day, I just pick 3 things that I want to make sure I accomplish that day. And like by the end of the day, what do I want to have said I did? You know, was it call and make an appointment for a doctor appointment, or was it to right now it's clean up my closet? You know, just like something that like by the end of the day, I want to say that I got that done. So top 3 priorities, and then the hourly thing, I can put scheduled things on there. At the end of the day is my 4 daily wins. One of them is always like, did I make a connection with a particular person or relationship I'm working on? Or what, yeah, what were 4 things that you could celebrate for that day that you accomplished, that maybe they weren't on the top priority, but maybe they were and you actually did them. So it's like, okay, I did this. Because for so long I was doing all these to-do lists and being really discouraged that I didn't get the things done. I'd focus on the ones I didn't do. So this turns it around and focuses on the things that I did do. And then a personal weekly to-do list and a personal work to-do list. Could be work, family, whatever. And then at the end of the week on Sunday, I take time and I just jot down like intellectually, business, work, home improvements, like where was the growth and expansion this week? And also write about the family. What's going on in the family's life? I have a minute to touch on every child or grandchild or whatever. So that's how the week, and then at the end of the week, the journaling. And then at the end of the month, there is.
So the journaling is weekly.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. It's kind of like after it's all done, look back like, okay, these were the highlights that happened this week. And then January at the end of January, I have prompt questions. You don't have to use them if you don't want to. You can make up your own questions, but I just said, what is the most memorable thing about this last month? What did I accomplish that I'm proud of? What were the biggest lessons I learned? And what areas of personal growth do I want to work on next month? So it's kind of reflecting the past, but manifesting the future. So that's kind of how the whole journal is set up. And then I also added a quarterly reflection after March and after June. And I feel like I tried it this year. I did a quarterly goal setting instead of a yearly goal setting. I did a quarterly. And I got so much, I feel like I made so much more progress because I was only focused on 3 months rather than trying to do something that lasted 12 months. So there's my quarterly reflection about that. So there you have it. I'll go through more details and how I set it up. But I do want to point out that I love it that like all of these are open, so I get to color them. I love adding color, and I can add like themes, the monthly theme. Like March, it can be shamrocks, or just making it customized. There's enough space in there for that. And then at the end, there are some blank grid dot pages. So like when I go to state conference or whatever, I can take the notes here and I'll know that that happened at this time. So it's a chronological thing. And this is 6 months. And I decided I wanted 6 months so that it was not too fat and not too bulky. And I'm going to test it out. Either I repeat it and do another 6, or the next 6 I can make changes to it. But that is what I'm really excited about to use and to really see progress in personal growth. Hey, I'm going to put my chicken in. Did you guys already do your chicken?
So I cooked enough chicken for both recipes, right? We just put
Yeah. Yes. And I know I feel like I've taken a lot more time on this one, but the other one literally is like not very long at all. Yeah, so just split your chicken up and yeah, my chicken is like all clumped together, but when I put it in the soup and I stir it, it will all unless you already cubed it, that's great too. Okay. So that is that. I'm just going to let that keep simmering. And then I'm just really quickly going to demonstrate. I have all my veggies chopped for the succotash. So I will demonstrate how to do that. And if you don't have them all ready to go, that's okay. Just keep, you can follow, just go at your pace, but I'll try to do this so it's not too long of a video. Okay, so I have to get my recipe out. So I'll heat up my skillet. I'm doing this one in a skillet. Let's see, maybe. Okay, is that better? And this one I've chopped the zucchini and the, let me show you. I did some chopping. This is my chopping, and I keep them like this, and I put them in my fridge, and I'm just pull them out when I need them. So now I need them, and I'm going to use, often I don't use all of it, and I save some for another meal. So, so this one has the yellow squash, the green zucchini, and then 2 peppers, whatever color. And it has an onion in it. And I'm gonna have to chop my onion. I did, oh, I better turn that off. Okay.
Becky, did you put oil in the pan?
I will for the succotash.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't yet, but I will. I'm just gonna take a second and chop my oh, take a look at my house. I have this huge scaffolding in here. After a year of waiting, they finally came back and they're finishing. They put the new chandelier in. And then I'll show you because you guys are worth it. Hi. We have this beautiful ceiling. There we go. But because we had changed our fireplace, there was a piece over there that wasn't done right along the top piece. So he came yesterday and he put that in and he'll be back. They'll finish staining it and finish the rope lighting in there. But they're not here today. And that's kind of how our life goes. It's taken us a year. We started April 2023. And it might be done by Christmas this year. Hoping. But you can tell that that doesn't slow me down. I just keep doing stuff anyway. Okay, now I'm ready. I'll get my pan hot. I'll just do a little bit of the oil. I don't do the 4th cup of oil in there. Not the full thing. With that 4th cup of oil, you're gonna want to put it in a separate dish. Oh, let me grab it. So while that's heating up or your veggies are cooking, measure out a 4th cup of olive oil and move my planner. It will end up with oil all over. And you put the garlic in this oil. You're going to make a garlic oil. Okay, Mary, my daughter, showed me. She was laughing at it, but she found a TikTok and it was making fun of Pampered Chef, that like their mom's still using her 30-year-old Pampered Chef tools. And Mary sent that to me. And she's like, look, Mom, you're not the only one. Do you have it too? Oh, perfect. Yes, Pampered Chef.
That's amazing because I bought one of those at the Dollar Tree. This is not surprising, and it totally fell apart.
Oh,
I mean, I know I bought it at the Dollar Tree or maybe Walmart. I don't know, but I bought one that I was excited about and it just totally fell apart. So it's very
that makes me
impressive.
feel better because I was
Yeah.
like, I probably could buy this anywhere. But no,
Maybe. I don't know if it would last that long.
I don't think so. I know it's kind of funny to see the things that I still use from Pampered Chef. In fact, I kind of think this is one of them. I think that's a Pampered Chef thing. Okay, my pan is hot. And I'm gonna start with the onions again. Are you guys already done with your veggies? Such a easy recipe. Okay, here's the onion. I don't know if you do this or not, but I like heating up the pan really hot, and when you throw it in, it sizzles like that. Like it's already cooked. It goes so fast. And one of the Relief Society cooking demos that had this chef come in, and that was the one of the things that they talked about is starting with a really hot pan and letting it sizzle because it's okay. So I had my zucchini and squash chopped. I just measured 2 cups out of that. I'm going to measure 2 cups of my peppers. And, you know, I like getting the colorful. Making sure they're full of color. And really, it's just cooking these until they're tender. And let me make sure I got everything. Onion, yellow squash, zucchini, 2 bell peppers, and then the olive oil and oh, my thing is wrong. Sorry. I think it says 2 tablespoons, but it's actually 2 garlic cloves. If you want, I can send you text you the change on that. So again, when you're using veggies and all this, use the veggies you like and alter it the way you want. You want to do all zucchini and no peppers, you could do that. You could throw celery in there. But this is just another way of using more vegetables in your meals. I've talked about how meals are focusing on vegetables, as many vegetables as you can, and a healthy protein, a lean protein. And today we're using the chicken. And I just thought it'd be helpful to, while we're gonna do chicken, I like cooking a big bulk of chicken and using it in multiple ways. After you've done all that, then you can freeze your food. It is more efficient that way than coming home, freezing the chicken, letting the produce go bad. And then you're like, oh yeah, I was gonna make that. I always forget what I was gonna make. I kind of remember what I had bought it for. So this just really helps me use my fresh food in a more intentional way. It's using it within like 24 hours of buying shopping. So when that's tender, I turn the heat off and then I pour this garlic oil. I'm going to stir mine up a little bit.
So could you explain the garlic oil? Is it minced garlic? You just put in a 1/4 cup of oil.
Uh-huh.
And that's going to go over the top.
Yeah, so this kind of creates, it's not really a sauce, but it's flavor, I guess is what it is. And again, you can use as little or as much garlic as you like. It just gives those veggies a nice flavor. It's different.
Put it over the top of what? I can't remember.
So I just pour it over here.
Veggies or the,
Let's see, yep, over my veggies. So my veggies are,
So you cooked the veggies in some oil, but then you also cooked the garlic in oil in another pan.
no, I didn't cook the garlic.
Oh,
No,
this is raw
raw, fresh garlic, yeah.
in the oil.
And I just stir it in here. Yeah, so it's kind of making an infused oil, garlic infused oil.
Okay.
Yeah. And and when the veggies are done, then I'll put this oil, garlic oil on them. I haven't added mine yet. Have to clean out my garlic mixer. When I did this for the first time, I'm not going to explain how I did it. I did not like it. I do not like that recipe. Well, I'll tell you what I did. I used a full chicken breast. The recipe I saw said, take a frozen chicken breast, put these veggies on it, pour the garlic oil over the top, and bake it. So when I brought it out, the chicken was hard. It was not tender. It was tough. And I did not like it baked in the oven. And then I went to my daughter's house, who I helped cook. I had two daughters that I helped all summer. One lives in Idaho and one lived in St. George. And each month I would drive to one and help her cook. And then I drive to the other and help her cook. And this was one of their favorite meals because I had changed how I do it. Like, so I'm showing you how I do it and why we like it better this way. Okay, I'm going to turn the heat off. My veggies are done. I'll just turn the heat off. And okay, I got all the garlic in here. So I'm just going to pour this over it. And then I'm going to add the chicken. I'm going to cube the chicken and put that in there too. And that is 1 mil. Look, that took like
And
10 minutes.
how did you cook the chicken ahead of time? Like, did you boil it? Did you steam it? Did you grill it?
Good question. I did it in my Instant Pot. And I was kind of talking about this a little bit earlier. I don't know. And I can tell you the setting. Do you use Instant Pot very much, Rachel? Okay.
Sorry, I'm taking care of a sick kid. Yes, I do.
Okay. So I set it high pressure for 10 minutes and then I do natural release for almost up to 30 minutes. And that's how I did my chicken today. I add a little bit of broth to cover the bottom. And then I put my chicken in, I salt and pepper it and set it for a 10-minute high pressure. And
how much do you do at a time for that?
how do what?
How many like chicken breasts do you do? And do you do chicken breasts or thighs or?
So I got the Costco. Costco has a package of the organic chicken. There's 3 of them.
Yeah.
So I can do all 3 all at once. I have bought the one that's not organic, and I believe that there's 6 packages in that.
And then you just like prepare all your meals with all that cooked chicken and then freeze the whole meal versus like freezing the cooked chicken by itself, or
I have frozen just the plain chicken or the cooked chicken, those tenders. I have frozen that. And when I was helping my daughter with 4 kids, I would freeze those chicken tenders in her freezer. And she said her kids loved it when she thawed them out, because then they could eat it with barbecue sauce. They could eat it however they wanted, but it wasn't coated in anything.
Okay, sorry, you said tenders, not breasts, right?
I like the tenders.
Okay.
Yeah, I had that one experience of trying to use the chicken breast, And they're just not tender. They're tough. So I like the tenders. So I'm gonna put my chicken in, and like if you're watching the recording or whatever, we're really done at this point. But I'll leave the recording going and we can finish talking, or I want to see how it goes for you guys. I'm gonna bring this over here. I need my chicken closer to my pot. Okay.
So Becky, you
Yeah.
put in the oil over the vegetables before you put the chicken in.
I did, yes. So. And then I'm gonna add my chicken to it.
Okay, sorry, another dumb question. Did you season the chicken when you put it in the Instapot, when you cooked it in there? Like, did you salt and pepper it?
Salt and pepper only, yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So yeah, there's my chicken. And honestly, it's not a bad thing. Like you could throw that chicken broth into this and just make it a little bit more saucy. It might depend. I like to serve this succotash over quinoa or couscous or rice, brown rice, white rice. You could serve it over, I was gonna say a spaghetti squash, but that's a lot of squash. Because we've already got squash in it. But yeah, there's many different variations that you could do. Our favorite that we use probably most often is rice or quinoa. So there's your dinner, there's your meal, and that's the end of the class. I'll stop the recording